Oof, I think. Yeah, oof sounds about right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Well, oh, actually, good point. No, oof sounds about right. Actually, though, give me one quick second. I'll be right back. Oof, again. Okay, so you join us today in what looks to be, human progress. And what I wanted to talk about, well, I mean, just for the first few minutes, is human progress and envisioned vis-a-vis Minecraft mods. Obviously, we we have talked in the past about the mods. We have seen them fail dramatically. We have seen all of those wonderful, wonderful, fantastic things. But we have also, moved or tried to move past that in such a way that we could. Hello? Oh, okay. In such a way that we could still continue to do this kind of stream, architectural, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But we've never, if you guys remember, right? Like the last time we tried this, it was a laggy piece of crap, and we could barely move. And that was on like mediocre settings on a computer that is fantastically powerful, even though it's from a few years ago, right? So, and now look at this, right? Like, now the way things are, smooth, clean, crisp. I mean, it's not that smooth, obviously. If we look at the FPS, it's not that high, but it's consistent, right? It's consistent at about between 20 and 30, and for you lot, that's enough, right? Because you guys can't tell anyway. So we don't need to like stream at 120 frames per second for some people that are for for people that basically cannot tell the difference. Well, very good question. How did I manage this? Well, in part by moving away from Forge. Last time we had touched on this, that there are basically now two big modding communities in Minecraft. The old Forge guys, who are the original guys, and then the new Fabric guys, right? And last time we talked about how Fabric was sort of open source, it embraced the open source ethos compared to the old Forge guys, which was very much a closed system, hardcore proprietary code, API, making money off, essentially making money off uneducated children that go and try to grab their stuff, right? So a lot of that it wasn't shady, but it was more just, I didn't like those business practices, right? Like that's really all there is. Overwolf, no, I'm not sure what Overwolf is. Actually, I've heard of that name before. Was that the company that bought out Curse from Amazon? Anyway, the point I'm laboriously trying to get to is that because of last time we were using Fabric API as well, but last time we weren't doing it. Like last time we were still using a bit of legacy code in the graphics rendering pipeline. You will remember we were talking about shaders, and I was desperately trying to get their shaders to work and get the shaders to work in a way that made it, usable, that made it playable. And you remember we had dramatic instances of the shaders completely dying on us and leaving me with an unplayable, like 3 frames per second little crap, right? And yeah, exactly. Yeah, you remember. Good. Well, some of you remember, the others were probably asleep. But this time we have actually moved away from that, and so Optifine, which is how the shaders worked, was that last bit of legacy code, and it was very much still one of the proprietary, like make money through ads, and those serve unscrupulous ads to, young kids who really probably shouldn't be seeing those particular ads. And yes, I am reenacting Vietnam. Just give me a second. We'll talk about why afterwards. And so the open source community has sort of come to, I don't want to say save the day, but they have come to sort of like practice a different kind of ethos, and that's what Fabric is. And you can see how much faster it is, right? This is human progress, because this is faster, and this is the it plugs into the new Fabric stuff, sodium blah blah. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know the details. Essentially, it is Nona, yes. And no, I didn't use this through the. I don't need apps, right? Like mods, you can simply install by placing them in the correct folder. So there was never a need to install mods. What I was laboriously trying to say, yes. So the graphics rendering pipeline has now also been rewritten to suit the Fabric API application, blah blah. You know what I mean. And so and that meant that suddenly. This is you can tell the difference, right, between the last software that we used and this current software. I mean, it gets a little bit laggy when we have a lot of fire to render, but that's honestly that's not that big of a deal. No, exactly. Yeah, exactly, and I'm not going to sit here and say that open source software is better. No, not at all. It's just that the people who do it tend to see it as a passion project, and that occasionally means stuff can be really good. And hi, Quitch, how are you? I'm making. Well, first I'm making fire. Let me just finish this fire, and then we can talk about what I'm actually making. Can we stop with the Vietnam jokes? just guys, it's not funny anymore. I've tolerated enough Vietnam jokes now. We'll be done. Okay, cool. As an aside, the move to the new graphics pipeline actually meant that I could turn up. I am destroying nature, Brett. Hi, how are you? Meant that I can turn up the graphics dramatically, right? And doesn't this look much more beautiful than even what we tried last time? And last time was done in like the most painful way possible, right? And yet here we are. We have essentially what amounts to be a nice snowy landscape that we're going to build on. Okay, now what are we doing today? No, seriously, guys, stop the Vietnam jokes. It's just easier to clear a forest if you use fire than if you were to, like dramatically try to reduce their stumps. Neutral is good. I like neutral. Actually, neutral is one of the better ways to be. We cannot be good all the time, and those who want to be good all the time will find that in their attempt to be good, they will always they will be insatiable. Vietnam joke. Oh yeah, Quitch. I guess you deserve to hear the Vietnam jokes. It's nothing in particular. It's just, like in America during the Vietnam War, there was a great emphasis on trying to get the guerrilla forces, the Viet Cong, to leave their to provide them with no real hiding spots, right? And so that's why that's why the Americans went so hard on the napalm, because it's a good way to burn down everything. And when you need to burn down everything, you just you throw down some liquid fire, and so the there's a rousing group of people who, you guys were alive during that time. Actually, you know what? That makes it yes, that makes it even more likely for you guys to make those jokes. Yes, I'm aware. I shouldn't have questioned your lack of humanity. Anyway, okay. What are we doing? We are doing something different today. Well, I mean, we're always doing something different, which is kind of the point of this little show of mine, right? So, what we are going to do today is actually something I very much like. We are going to attempt to build a miniature city, well, over a few broadcasts at the very least. We're going to attempt to build a miniature city in such a in Minecraft in such a way that it doesn't like we're not going to use Minecraft's scale for things, and that's why I have to burn down the trees, because the trees would just get in the way of our attempts, right? I am different. Thank you, Brett. Also, look at the sky. Isn't the sky beautiful? Fantastic. Oh, look at this. Can we set the spider on fire? No. Can we set the what is this called again? Creeper? Creeper, that's right. Can we set the creeper on fire? Apparently we did. Oh, there we go. The spider can be set on fire. Fantastic. Okay. You just see the ground burning. What do you mean, Quitch? Yeah. The jokes are all basically just like, this is Vietnam all over again, blah blah blah. Poor Bread. Work hard, study hard, work hard, find a job, and computers these days are cheap, right? Like, computers themselves are so heavily commoditized that it's not difficult to get something that can run Minecraft fairly decently. Oh, it's Quitch, I didn't actually tell any single jokes, sorry. Just yeah, they're just they're not really jokes anyway, right? Like, which is why I say that they're not funny. They're mostly just saying, why are you throwing napalm around? Why do you hate the Vietnamese? Even though this is not Vietnam, right? And I don't hate the Vietnamese. Anyway, okay, that's enough of that. We've cleared enough trees. We've been clearing trees for 15 minutes. Okay, done clearing trees. But yes, Brett, it is with an RTX. And RTX what? RTX is just a name, right? Like, there are the RTX 2050, which is, baseline $50 video card. There's the RTX 3090, which is what, 1500 $1,599. Like it's yes, Quitch, it isn't funny, but they think they're funny, and that's the tragedy. So we are going to do this in a different way. In a different way. We are going to build a scale model of a city based on the landscaping that's going on here, right? So essentially each block will be almost like a floor of a building, or even 2 floors of a building. And so to make a high rise, you would only need a few blocks, like 5 or 6 blocks to create a high rise. And also we have a lot of blocks. I just realized that. I didn't realize how many mods I added in. Why would I hate you? That's silly. Yeah, so we're going to build blocks. Why is everything white? Oh yeah, I completely didn't mention that. And also, good choice, Brett. 3060 will be fine. You don't need a 3080. It is too much money for. I mean, unless you really play like the latest graphics, and even then, a 3060 is fine. Unless you want to buy yourself a $3,000 monitor, right? Like, unless you have money for a gigantic monitor, 3060 is perfectly reasonable for anything that is out there today and tomorrow. Yeah, so we are using single blocks to represent parts of a building, parts of high rises and stuff, and the idea is that we can then start building sort of bigger cities, right? And the game happily obliged us with this. I actually really like this. This thing. I don't know why I'm working on this right now, but just give me one quick second. There we go. Okay, so there's a waterfall that comes down here. Excellent, fantastic. Look at that. Oh, okay. Probably not. No, okay. Let me just find some grass and fill that in. Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me? Fine. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's fine. It's just underwater down. Good. 1 second. Okay. So we're going to essentially use this as a way of... Oh, right, I was going to mention snow. Can you guys stop distracting me, please? I was going to mention snow. You see how these blocks are snowy? Oh, okay, it does. Cool. You see how things are snowy, but when we burn stuff down, it wasn't? That's actually part of the shader pack, right? You can see how that's green underneath. So part of that shader pack, it included this really cool snow land thing, where everything essentially has a dusting of snow on top, and that's nice. I like that. You know, that's fun. Okay. Oh look, the sun's coming. Beautiful. Okay, so let's start our city because. Yes, I've spent a lot of time on talking. Yes, thank you. So first thing we're going to do is create a little harbor. Because why not? Exactly. Why not? That is the question. We're like a modern city, right? Has to have a nice harbor, and so we're going to have a nice harbor here. Let's see. Should it be a deep water harbor? Yes, it should. Which means this. Oh, that's sand, isn't it? That's fine. So this is like the dry dock area, you know, like the shipyard area. And then we're gonna have a nice harbor on this end. What does it look like? Just give me 1 second. Let me finish this, and then I suppose you can see what it looks like. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so harbor. We don't want sand on a harbor, so we need something that looks like nice concrete. So let's use that. Fingers crossed that looks good. Oh, that looks fantastic. And like the dusting of snow on top is actually really nice too. Harbor, and in harbors we will usually see, you know, gigantic we will usually see, you know, a gigantic those big cranes, right, that lift things from the boats and essentially do the cargo ships, right? So I think something like this looks about right. Obviously, this is not a very big harbor. Right? This is a small harbor. It's only got 3 big cranes. Oops. My time and logistics. No, this is nothing to do with my time and logistics. This is more maybe, what if there are red walls? Oh, what? Hello? Okay, this has potential. Maybe not that one. Maybe this one. And we don't... Yeah, it's supposed to look like a miniature-sized version, right? So... it's just one. Like... And this can now act as a harbor of a much bigger cruise liner. Not cruise liner. What is the word I'm laboriously trying to find? Cargo ship. Right? That looks alright. Yeah, let's step this back a little. Good. Oh, no. Probably too close to the mountains for this, but that's okay. So yeah, these are going to be mountains, right? Like they look like mountains, in part because if each of them is a story high, then that is very mountainous terrain. But you can just assume it's Hong Kong or something. Or you know, like some of the major ports in Japan are also close to the mountains. Shizuoka comes to mind, right? Like it's simply sitting right there. But then again, Shizuoka isn't that big of a port, so doesn't matter. Not a port. Yokohama. Yeah, I suppose Yokohama could work. That's still like, yeah, you're in the shadow of Mount Fuji, but like that's still not exactly. Anyway, that's fine. So usually, you know, beside the harbors, you know what? I need to clear this out. We can't have this much mountain. We can't have this much mountain, so but we can have, say, oh, hey, Shell. Sidewinder, how are you today? Slab. let's look for a slab that looks nice. Stone. Actually, no, polished andesite. We're probably going to use polished andesite as sort of a shorthand for good. I'm glad you're well. As a shorthand for you know, building size monsters. Yes, it is going to be a Japanese city at this point. We're going to use andesite as a shorthand for concrete, right? Concrete structures, concrete, like road surfaces and all of that. Let's see. I just realized I didn't really have to do this, but that's okay. So, just to demonstrate what I mean, let's say we have a couple low-rise warehouses here. And then we have a if I want an office building, what would I use to make an office building? That looks like it could work, right? So this might be an office building. And then I would have another few low-rise factories here. Actually, no, those wouldn't look at factories. What would we make a factory with? Not eggs. I literally just said not eggs. Right? Factory buildings. Fantastic. Right? And so factories, we have this would be like if I could make it a slant, I would, just to show that it's a hill, but I can't. So we kind of have to deal with the fact that this is going to look like that. But I think it works in sort of deep slate. Let's see. Deep slate. Oh, I mean we got something similar. But yeah, you can see that with all of these different textures, right? Like we can have some quite interesting scale model of cities. Like, for example, this one has a high rise, and perhaps there is, what is this called? This is osseous. Oh, is this bone? Oh, we're using spinal cord. Okay, all right. Well, doesn't matter. We can then use this, right? Like, to show that there's another tall building down here. This is still the mountain, so let's use something else. For example, let's use why do you suddenly care for whether I'm cold or not? Let's see. We'll have another one sort of sitting on this side. Does that kind of look alright from far away, right? Like it's starting to look like we have a city with office buildings and yeah. I think we just have to find the correct blocks for it. And the different colors really do help in this case, I think. Right, and so like the high rises all are rising up on top of the mountain. And this is a building that looks more like this. Right, it's got 2 layers. Excellent. And yeah, the idea is, I mean, yeah, I like the idea, obviously, because I came up with it. But the overarching idea is to then slowly build this until we really have a very big city, right? And oh, that didn't go. There might be. If you want to look it up, that's fine by me. Let's pick. Yeah, essentially, remember when we tried to build that place in Shibuya, and like we needed more blocks. This is essentially what would have made it work really well. Like the sheer amount of blocks that we have here, right? You can see that. Do I not get more? Like, you mean more choices, or you mean like more taskbars? I think I only get a single taskbar, so like we do have to kind of make do with that. What do we think about that? Questions, concerns? Yeah, I mean, it it kind of works for me, right? Like obviously, we would have to be very careful about the types of blocks we use to create the buildings. We don't want to go too crazy. So, for example, this jungle plank probably doesn't work that well. Um, but we could certainly like you use a lot of these bad boys. Let's use this one instead of the jungle one, right? And you can see because they have different textures. Because they have different textures, that we can have this look of essentially a minor building in the distance. Oh! I just realized something. What if we used? Because I think the ores glow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the ores do glow. So there is a case for doing something like this. Well, maybe not exactly this, right? It does glow as well, and that's kind of pretty. I wish it glowed differently. Actually, from far away, that works, doesn't it? What about regular iron? It does. Okay. Let's figure this out before we end for today. And look, we have quite a few of them, so that's fantastic. Take those. We have iron, deep slate, iron, copper, redstone, deep slate, redstone, emerald. Right. So let's build this up. Okay. So coal doesn't work. That's fine. Ooh, that's cyberpunky. Um, here. Oops. Lazuli. Because this could give our city enough light that we wouldn't. Oh, beautiful, fantastic, fantastic. Look, and I love that we do have sort of two different types for each one, right? Like we have the normal one and then the deep slate one, and so they look just slightly different enough that it actually makes it really interesting. Okay, lapis lazuli. What is this? Diamond. I'm sure that'll glow as well. Deep slate diamond, nether gold, nether quartz. I wonder if these. Oh, if those glow as well. Are we ready for this? Okay, no, they don't glow. If those glowed, I think those would be almost even better, right? Like, that's fine. Oh, we didn't. Oh, deep slate, diamond, slate diamond, another gold. Oh, that's a shame. But that's fine. Like, we have... How many blocks is that? That is 12 blocks. That's probably enough for a nice city. But then that would make the city a little bit monotonous, right? No, I think what we'll do is we'll intersperse them. So we'll still have these regular guys. We'll still have these regular guys that all look a little bit different. And then in the middle of them we'll put, like, for example, this one. Right? This is sort of one of the taller ones that is beside the harbor. And then we'll have these, you know, regular bad boys that are just... I need to know what the block that I'm looking at. Excuse me? Isn't there I'm trying to find what this block is defined as, and it's not telling me. Bio. Oh, road diorite. Okay. No, that doesn't work. No, that's not. But that's... yeah, we can just rebuild that. Right, so this is another tower in the background. And then we'll end this site. Third up on the right. Oops. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll deal with it in the future. And side panel. No, we'll do this one. Right, and then perhaps in the back we'll plop in a one of these bad boys, right? Maybe not here. So the idea is, yeah, like in the middle of our city, some of them will be lit up, some of them will not, and we will go from here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Yes, we are done for today. I'm surprised at the amount of response. Well, I mean, okay, thank you. Well, that's lovely that you guys enjoy it. I just didn't expect this much enjoyment. All right, bye, Sidewinder, my friend. Take care. Eh? And yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. You know, in conclusion, please download Firefox. Please don't do Chrome. And yeah, I'm very happy to have not wasted 39 minutes of your time today. Yes, that is it. Bye now.